Businesses involved in international trade are subject to complex international regulations. They must comply with a complex regulatory framework imposed by multiple governing bodies within even the same country. Hi, my name is Kenneth Humpay. Today, I'll be discussing something important: customs and global trade compliance. Why does it matter? And how can you avoid fines and penalties that increase the chances of running afoul of national and international trade rules? Customs and trade compliance is an aspect of corporate compliance that ensures that all import and export transactions are in conformance with the laws and regulations of the countries involved. This means operating within the many global regulations that surround trading activities in the import and export of products, services, and technology. There are several subjects that customs and trade compliance is concerned with. Number 1. Tariff classification. The correct classification of goods using commodity and tariff codes. Number 2. Preferential origin and non-preferential origin. This is associated with a specific trade agreement between two countries or blocks of countries. Number 3. Incoterms. These are trade terms used to clearly define the responsibilities of the buyer and seller. Number 4. Licenses and permits. Number 5. Export controls. Certain products and underlying technology are subject to export control legislation as they could have harmful for other users. Number 6. Customs management. If your business happens to be the subject of a customs investigation, it's important to have a clear action plan to help any trade compliance issues to be resolved quickly and smoothly. Number 7. Screening. Screening customers and risky entities will help ensure you are not inadvertently doing business with an undesirable person or party. Number 8. Valuation. Every shipment must have an appropriate valuation associated with it, which should be defendable if challenged. The valuation must comply with one of the 6 valuation methodologies approved by the World Trade Organization and be declared on the single administrative document. For businesses, there is a need to make robust customs and global trade compliance, and it is especially important for the following reasons. Number 1. Protect corporate reputations and employees by facilitating legal and responsible trading. Number 2. Minimize exposure to fines and penalties. Number 3. Promotes customer satisfaction by avoiding shipment delays. Number 4. Ultimately saves money by avoiding delays, investigations, and penalties. Customs and global trade are the backbone of the modern economic world. It has always been an interesting field, and now there are several career opportunities available in this area. We have Trade Marketing Director, International Trade Lawyer, who keep themselves abreast of international finance law and trade agreements between nations, shipping specialists, take care of logistics pertaining to movement of goods across borders and across oceans, business managers for manufacturing industry that produce, export, or buy imports. A large-scale manufacturer or agricultural producer might employ a business manager to strategize and develop relationships with companies abroad. Insurance manager for imported and exported goods. Logisticians, customs broker. If you're interested in working for the government, you can also find a career in either trade assistance or trade regulation. We have customs officer, senior policy manager for trade, defense and security export assistant, head of policy and strategy for global supply chains, trade negotiation as logistics supervisor. It is important to take a proactive approach to trade compliance and keep ahead of regulatory changes. To help us do this, here is a list of resources for customs and global trade compliance. Customs laws, tariff laws, WTO or the World Trade Organization, AHTN and Harmonized System, GATT, Doha Development Round, international customs documents, de minimis concept, bilateral negotiations, rules of origin, multilateral negotiations, non-market economy country, Uruguay Round, anti-dumping law, anti-subsidy, countervailing duty. The regulatory and enforcement climate of customs and trade compliance changes rapidly, and as these changes occur, so too the national regulations that importer and exporters must follow.